It was definitely here.
Just like Chapman said it would be. Someone tipped them off. There's no doubt. We have a leak.
Lucky we moved it early. Your source was correct. The feds were right on schedule.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Trent. Keep me informed.
That's the 4th time in 2 months.
Yes. I'm afraid this mysterious Mr. Chapman has become more than just an annoyance.
Who is he? And what does he want?
He hasn't had the courtesy of sharing that with me as yet. But unless I'm mistaken... Devereaux?
This is Chapman.
But of course it is. Mr. Chapman, it's always a singular experience. Hearing that voice of yours coming at me through Lord knows how many filters, limiters, and what have you.
I'm a cautious man, Devereaux. That's probably the reason that I've stayed alive so long.
Yes.
I could have told the government about your last
Last-minute change in schedule, but you seem to need one more demonstration. Take a look
Look at that switch on the brass lamp sitting on your desk. That's for free, Deborah. The rest remain my secrets. What you do, I see. And what you say, I hear. I know enough about you to put you away for the next 30 years.
Surely you have some purpose in all this, Mr. Chapman.
I'm suggesting a limited partnership.
In that case, I suggest we meet face to face. Immediately.
No, not tonight. Tonight I have tickets for the ballet, and I never mix business with pleasure.
Harry, if you are going to complain all night...
Complain? I didn't say a thing.
You're squirming, that's complaining. Now, whether you know it or not, you're looking very handsome.
I feel like I lost an election bet.
Now stop grumbling. Did I gripe when you took me to Suffolk Downs in the rain?
Hey, if we'd have had a dry track, we'd have had a couple of winners.
Warm beer, cold hot dogs, soggy trifecta tickets.
Better than sitting around watching a bunch of cutie pies in tights prance around the stage.
Harry, we made a deal, and tonight is my night. Now, if Leona Chapman was nice enough to give us her seats, then the least you can do is to keep an open mind.
Okay. Yeah, you... I'm not saying another word.
Chaplain to reserve seats. Thank you.
That's cute. Pink pantyhose.
That was 5 words, Harry, and I'm keeping track.
Row 5. Seat 1, 2, 3, 4. Chapman.
What happened? Shh! What happened?
Raymonda fell into a trance while playing the lute, and the ghost of the White Lady has just led her out onto the terrace.
Oh, yeah. No kidding. Listen, you want some popcorn or something? I'm by you.
Harry.
Excuse me.
Ow!
Excuse me.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
Wait.
Oh, pardon me. Excuse me, where's your popcorn machine? How about beer nuts? Hey.
Don't say anything or do anything. Just walk with me to the door.
Wait a second.
Move.
You're with Spinelli, right? Listen, pal, I sent him a check this morning. It's in the mail.
One more word and you're a dead man.
All right. We can work this thing out. No sweat. Okay. suit, will you? So you're working for Spinelli, huh? Hey, listen, I know I'm a little past due. Actually, these guys did me a favor. You ever try sitting through the ballet without falling asleep? A couple of those dames look pretty good. Legs like telephone poles, but hey, you can't have everything.
For a man with fifth-row orchestra seats, you're not quite what I pictured.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. You mind telling me what I'm doing here?
You'll be delighted to know we've swept the estate several times.
Oh, you don't have to clean up on my account.
Joviality in the face of danger. I respect that, Mr. Chapman.
Chapman? Whoa, hit the brakes, pal. My name's McGraw, not Chapman. Harry McGraw. Looks like your bozos picked up the wrong package when they brought in the wash. But listen, if I run into this Chapman guy, I'll send him your way. Look, you got the wrong guy. I'm a private investigator.
Bravo, bravo. Your performance as a stupid detective is both amusing and convincing. Unfortunately, it's not convincing enough. Now, I want your eavesdropping hardware dismantled, each and every piece of it. But above all, Mr. Chapman, oh yes, most importantly, I want the tapes.
The tapes? Hardware? Look, you guys are making a big mistake.
I'm afraid yours was the mistake when you thought you could frighten me with extortion and blackmail. Your intrusion has forced me to postpone and reroute a very important shipment. Needless to say, my client is quite irate.
Tough T-bone, Jack.
Mr. Chapman, I'm not an unreasonable man. I don't expect to get this information for nothing. I can offer you the opportunity of surviving the evening.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But of course you don't. Hilda, do whatever is necessary to see that Mr. Chapman cooperates.
Yes, Mr. Devereaux.
Then make it look like an accident.
Hey, listen, meatball. You got your wires crossed. Hey, listen. You're wasting your time. I already had my rabies shots. Ow! Hey, lady. You got a touch like an elephant.
I have called his apartment and his office and everybody else that I can think of. Look, if he comes in, will you have him call me? Thanks, Cookie. I take him to the ballet. He lasts 10 minutes, 5 of which he's sleeping, and then he walks out on me.
It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me. So stick 'em up, Joe. Got a little story you ought to know. We're drinking, my friend.
He's good.
Yeah,
They've programmed him well.
I don't know. Nah.
That should be enough to make a rock sing. For the last time, what is your name?
Johnny Mercer.
Is he dead?
Not yet.
If we had used pain, we would have been done hours ago.
We'll let him sleep. Then you can do it your way.
Harry? Are you all right?
Wonderful.
Oh, good, because I'm going to kill you.
Get in line.
Harry, these charges read like a Chinese menu. Stolen vehicle, driving under the influence.
MacGinnis, I swear I never touched a drop.
Well, swear to them. We're waiting for the results of the blood test.
Oh.
Oh, and this is nice, too. Trespassing, breaking and entering, exceeding the speed limit, running a red light, using a car as a battering ram.
Hey, I didn't hurt anybody, did I?
No, but the property damage reports are pouring in. Harry, you were kidnapped, drugged. If you hated the ballet that much, why didn't you just say so?
MacGinnis, it sounds crazy because it is, but I'm giving you the straight skinny, and I'll prove it to you. The guy who tried to take me out is named Devereaux.
Blake Devereaux? Harry, Blake Devereaux is a defender of church, charity, and apple pie. His reputation is unblemished.
Yeah, well, you better get out the Clearasil, because he just cornered the Zitz market.
Harry! Oh, Peaches, I'm so happy you're safe!
Will you listen to me? I'm telling you, that bimbo tried to use me like a pincushion last night. And she and Devereaux's goon dragged me into this torture chamber.
Harry.
Oh, Harry. What's that supposed to mean?
It means that your story is implausible.
MacGinnis, when have I ever lied to you? To a client, maybe. To the cops? Yeah, why not? But to you, never.
All right, all right. Accepting the possibility that your story may be true, which is a big maybe. Why?
All I know is that Devereaux is knee-deep into something that smells like dead fish. And he thinks I'm some guy named Chapman who's been queering his act.
Maybe you should press charges.
Cover boy. Shoot.
You just hit the newsstands. Congratulations, McGraw. You sure know how to pick 'em. Oh, and by the way, I just did a little checking. The reason why you didn't find Devereaux at his home this morning is because he's in Washington receiving an award from the House Ethics Committee.
Harry, this is the man who calls himself Blake Devereaux?
That is the guy, yes. Hey, I don't care if he plays pinochle with the president. That slimeball tried to get me killed last night. And as soon as I catch up with him, I'm going to take his ethics award and stick it.
Hey, Harry! It's your niece.
Tilly. I mean, a man like Blake Devereaux is who...
Harry needs to cool down, but I am not going to throw him to the wolves.
I understand.
We got big trouble. It's been trashed.
How can you tell?
Oh, it's bad enough they had to roust my office. But did they have to bust my Carmen Miranda ashtray?
We better call the police.
What for? Nothing's missing. Devereaux's guy did this, looking for something that belonged to Chapman, thinking that I'm Chapman. But since I'm not, what he wanted, he didn't get.
Harry, how can you be sure?
Hey, what I know, I know. What do I know? Chapman, whoever he is, bought tickets to the ballet. How? Cash, credit card, and where? The box office, the ticket agency? EJ, I want you to backtrack those tickets. Check the theater. I want to find out who this Chapman is, where he is, and what he's up to. And when I find out, I'm going to have myself a large piece of this creep.
May I help you?
Yeah, Mike Tatelman, head of security for the ballet company. I understand you people arranged for a pair of tickets for last night's performance for Walter Chapman.
I wouldn't know, sir.
Yeah, well, we got a little problem, see. The guy sitting in front of him last night, he dropped dead in the middle of the second act.
Good Lord.
Yeah, they thought he was asleep, but then they found this bullet hole right behind his right ear. Now, we want to keep this out of the papers, but we figured maybe Chapman heard something or saw something, so why don't you give me his room number and I'll go up and talk to him.
I'm sorry, that's against hotel regulations. Feel free to call him on the house phone.
Hey, we're talking a possible homicide here, amigo.
And I am talking hotel policy. The house phones are that way.
Excuse me, what do you get for a dozen roses?
$55, sir.
No, I said 1 dozen.
Yes. I heard you, sir.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, roses are a little ostentatious. How much is this little thing?
That's $30.
$30? That's about $10 a leaf.
Sir, plants don't grow on trees.
Now, actually, I'm looking for something really simple, understated.
Cheap.
You read my mind. And I'd like you to send it to Mrs. Walter Chapman. She's a guest here at the hotel.
Delivery for Walter Chapman. 531.
Why couldn't this guy live on the second floor? Hey, Bozo, what are you doing in my room?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chapman. No one answered when I knocked. I was told to deliver this to your wife.
Somebody sending flowers to my wife? This thing looks half dead.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I just was told that
Thanks for our special time, Rodolfo. Who the hell is Rodolfo?
I don't know, sir. All the florists told me is the guy's a real cheap-okey.
That does it. Get out of here, kid, and take this weed with you.
Yes, sir.
Get out! You're the guy I've been looking for.
Painful, isn't it, Mr. Chapman? Such a small nerve ending, you probably didn't even realize it was there until now.
I'm Federal Agent Eckstein. I'm looking for Walter Chapman.
Isn't everybody?
No, I want those tapes, Chapman, and I want them now.
In service! Oh! Ah!
Hold it! Hold it!
Mr. Hughes, Eckstein. I'm in Chapman's room right now. Place is full of listening devices. Yeah, one of Devereaux's goons was a step ahead of me. He must have gotten to him the same way I did, through the ballet tickets. They got away, both of them. But you were right. I saw him myself. Definitely, Chapman and McGraw are one and the same person.
Right.
Would you cut it out, E.J.? You're freezing my fingers.
Harry, it could be a sprain. You have to soak it in cold water. Or is it hot?
I'll let you know when it falls off.
Look, Harry, would you mind... I mean, what is going on? Is there something you're not telling me?
You too? Thanks a lot, kid.
Look, Harry, I'm worried about you. I want to help, but I mean, how could these people assume you're this Mr. Chapman if you're not? That doesn't make any sense.
Hey, maybe I got a twin brother someplace I don't know about, or a perfect double, like in the Twilight Zone, or...
Or what?
I don't know. Listen, hustle yourself over to that hotel and camp out there until Chapman shows up. If the Polaroid's still working, rip off a few pictures of the guy.
Sure, Harry. Oh, and, I hate to ruin what's already been a terrific day, but Mr. Spinelli's been calling about his $650. And I also found these 3 bills, due 6 months ago.
Pushy bums. Now, wait till they send the red ones with the exclamation marks, then pay them. Oh, and if Spinelli calls again, tell him I'm out of town. Is MacGinnis in?
She's been looking for you.
Yeah, who hasn't? I was this close to that bozo Chapman.
Harry, forget about Chapman. Let's deal with reality. Now, we have 3 court appearances to prepare for. Your investigator's license is under review, and the store you crashed into is going for the juggler. If they win, you're going to bleed green.
$50,000? It was a junk shop, a Salvation
Harry,
Army.
it was an antique store, and the $50,000 is for one dish. They are suing for $800,000.
Mr. Chapman, I presume.
Chapman's not here, pal. He had to take his Cub Scout den out to a weenie roast.
My name is Hughes, and,
Yeah, don't tell me. Let me guess. You guys are feds, right? I recognize the haircuts.
This is Special Agent Eckstein. I wonder if there's some place we might talk privately.
Mr. Hughes, my name is Mrs. MacGinnis, and I'm Mr. McGraw's attorney. Anything you have to say, you can say in front of me.
Yeah, and if it's got anything to do with this Chapman business, I'm not saying a word.
Well, then you deny the fact that for the past 3 months you've been posing as Walter Chapman.
I don't know the guy.
That you used his seat at the ballet, and furthermore, you identified yourself as Walter Chapman to the bellman at the Elliston Hotel, and were seen coming out of your room at the hotel.
It's a coincidence.
Who do you work for, McGraw?
Nobody.
Freelance, sir, just as you suspected.
Now, perhaps if you explained all...
I don't care who you are or what name you go by, but the United States government is not, I repeat, is not cutting any deals with extortionists.
Well, tell that to the Ayatollah.
We want those tapes.
Tapes? What tapes?
The Devereaux tapes, Mrs. McGinnis.
Devereaux?
Devereaux? As in Blake Devereaux? You mean Mr. Red, White, and Blue, Captain Galahad, Boston's Man of the Year, Blake Devereaux?
You know it is.
Yeah, well, tell it to her.
Yes, tell me, Mr. Hughes, what about Blake Devereaux?
What I have to say, Mrs. McGinnis, is in the strictest confidence and mustn't go beyond the confines of this room. We have reason to believe that Devereaux is mixed up in a multi-million-dollar black market scheme that seriously damages the defense posture of this country.
Blake Devereaux?
Yeah, I'd get his name off my invite list.
Oh, we also believe that Mr. McGraw, posing as Walter Chapman, has conducted an electronic surveillance to tape incriminating evidence against Devereaux.
Harry?
Oh, come on, McGinnis, you too?
Our dossier on Mr. McGraw indicates that this is exactly the kind of thing he'd be involved with. His investigator's license has been suspended 7 times, going on 8.
Now, just a moment, Mr. Eckstein. If you are accusing Mr. McGraw of treason, you'd better have the evidence to back it up.
Mrs. McGinnis, for all we know, Mr. McGraw here is the model of patriotism, but it's obvious we've stumbled into some kind of a shakedown. Mr. McGraw, we are not interested in prosecuting you, but there is a shipment of plutonium on its way out of this country in the next 24 hours, and we've got to know exactly where and when.
Listen, pal, if I could help you, I would.
Let's take him in.
If you do, you'd better show me a warrant.
As I said, Mr. McGraw, we don't want you. We want Devereaux. I'll give you 24 hours to come up with those tapes. Because if that shipment of plutonium leaves this country, you can look forward to spending the rest of your days in Spandau with Rudolf Hess. Call me. Next time.
Blake Devereaux. Oh, Harry, I'm so sorry.
You should be. Wasn't my idea to go to the ballet.
Colonel Faisal has grown testy, and he's presented me with an ultimatum. The plutonium must go on as scheduled, or I'll receive a very nasty visit from some of his representatives. I needn't tell you what that means. We must kill Chapman to assure that he doesn't interfere.
Yeah, but what about the tapes?
Since I've decided to leave the country permanently after our final shipment, I shall let the tapes fall where they may. Just make certain that Chapman is dealt with.
What do you mean you got nothing?
Nothing, Harry. 0.
No pictures? Or what about a description?
I had Walter Chapman paged a dozen times. He never answered the page. I tried the hostess in the coffee shop, the maitre d' in the fancy restaurant. Wherever he eats, it isn't here.
What about the bell captain, the barber shop?
They don't know him.
I gotta get back in that room.
Harry?
Listen, hot-footed back to the office. Get anything you can on this Chapman guy. Run a credit check on him, something. You know the scam.
I ought to by now. And Harry, don't get in any trouble.
Trouble? Me? Okay, Mrs. Chapman, where's your husband?
Ah!
The lady's name was not Chapman. It was Pierce. Madeline Pierce of Schenectady, New York.
Oh, hey, what's the difference? I mean, how was I supposed to know this scuzzball checked out?
You should have asked. Now, her husband happens to be Dr. Richard Pierce, also of Schenectady, New York.
Well, that figures.
Dr. Pierce was here in Boston scouting some of our better hotels and Boston Garden.
No kidding.
In order to organize a chiropodist convention, which will now take place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Well, it should, considering the security in that hotel.
Harry.
The mayor called the commissioner. The commissioner called the district attorney. And the district attorney called me. And he said, Tyler, I understand you know this gentleman. I, of course, denied it.
Tyler, since the lady is not pressing charges, may I assume that Harry is free to leave?
Leave? Leave? This man is a menace, Eleanor. I have spent the entire morning reviewing his activities over the last 24 hours. Harry, you've outdone yourself. Abducted by thugs hired by Blake Devereaux?
It happens to be true.
Oh? And how do we know this?
I'm not at liberty to tell you.
Oh, I see. Well, now, this is interesting here. It says you were drugged.
Some kind of truth serum. Sodium pentothal, right?
The blood test was rather inconclusive about that. Besides, who would want to inject you with sodium pentothal? You don't know anything. Laying waste to an antique shop. Reckless endangerment.
Tyler, there is a logical explanation for all this.
I might even be able to guess what it could be. Bookie troubles, McGraw? Loan sharks? Or is this entire mess the result of some irate husband who caught you sticking your hand into his cookie jar? You're not going to walk on this one, McGraw. I am going to find a nice, cozy little cell with a nice, hard mattress where you can spend the next few days contemplating the folly of your lifestyle.
Tyler.
Yes, Grace. Who? Oh. Certainly, I'll speak to him. Put him through. Mr. Hughes, what can I do to help you? Yes, I do know him. In fact, he happens to be here. Well, Mr. Hughes, you don't... No, I can... But... Yes, sir. I can take care of that, yes. Now, you can always count on time. Second thought, I'm not a man without compassion. For the time being, you're free to go, McGraw.
Gee, thanks a lot, Tyler. You're a real sport. Come on, MacGinnis. Let's go get some fresh air. MacGinnis, will you answer me a question?
If I can.
What the hell is going on around here?
I was waiting for you to tell me.
I've been kidnapped, punched out, jabbed, drugged, stuck with needles. This guy Devereaux is going to kill me if I don't hand him some lousy tapes. And Hughes, oh, he's a great guy. All he's going to do is put me in jail for the rest of my life.
Harry,
what else? What?
For what it's worth, I believe in you.
Yeah?
Almost absolutely.
Bugging me. Chapman. I'm up to my nose hairs with this guy. Who the hell is this miserable creep, anyway?
Well, whoever he is, he's a very solid citizen. I gave EJ a hand, a complete credit history.
Oh, yeah? Huh. House in L.A., house in Hawaii, condo in Miami, credit line that won't quit, and bank accounts from here all the way to Tijuana. You know something? It stinks. Okay. Here you got your Hughes and your Eckstein. Over here, you got Devereaux, your Trent, and your Hilga. And in the middle, you got your Chapman.
Let me see if I have this straight. Now, Chapman has certain tapes which incriminate Blake Devereaux in a plutonium black market scheme?
Score one for the kid.
And with these tapes, Hughes and his federal agents could put Devereaux in jail.
Yowza. MacGinnis?
Chapman is playing both sides against each other and holding out for the highest bidder.
Right. Now, that's the big picture. Hughes, Devereaux, and in the middle, Walter Chapman. Walter Chapman. Now, what do we know about this guy?
Well, he loves the ballet.
He's loaded.
He's an electronics freak.
Yeah. We're supposed to believe that he could bug the president's bedroom on the off chance that there was something going on in there worth listening to. No, but what do we really know about him? I mean, is he tall and skinny? Is he fat? Is he bald? Does he wear his skivvies to bed? I mean, what does a guy look like?
Nobody at the hotel ever saw him.
That's right. Nobody ever saw him for a very good reason. Because the creep doesn't exist.
Of course he exists. He's got a credit history.
It's a phony. The same as the lousy tapes. The whole thing's a scam. It's a put-up job.
Harry, you are not making any sense.
Wrong, MacGinnis. The whole thing is just starting to fall into place. EJ, get the credit card number from those ballet tickets that you traced. I want you to book a room. No, hold it. I want you to book a suite at the Ellison Hotel in the name of Walter Chapman.
But you said he doesn't exist.
He does now, kid. You're looking at him. Beautiful. Give my compliments to the chef. And put yourself through college.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Well, I had a feeling that you were at the end of this rope.
Husey, sit down, take a load off. I'll be with you in a shake.
How does that fit, Mr. Chapman?
Like an ace in a royal flush, Leo. I tell you what, stitch this up for me and bring me up a pair of those brown loafers that I saw in the window downstairs, the expensive ones. Size 10.5 D. And here you go. Take the wife out for a change. On me.
Thank you, sir. Thanks very much.
Well, McGraw, if it's my attention you want, you got it.
Oh, it's McGraw now, huh? What happened to Chapman all of a sudden? Oh, you want some champagne, Husey? It's got a name I can't pronounce and a price I can't afford. I never drink the stuff myself, but I figured I might as well with the government paying the bill.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing?
Now, the Irish have a saying, Husey. Never wish too hard for anything, because you're liable to wind up getting it. Okay? You wanted a Chapman, you got a Chapman. Help yourself.
You know, I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
Hey, do I look like I just fell off a banana truck? I mean, maybe Devereaux's dumb enough to play against a cold deck, but please, give me a little credit.
All right, McGraw, to extend your metaphor, just what kind of a hand do you think I'm holding?
Nobody's ever seen this guy Chapman, because there isn't any Chapman. And if there's no Chapman, then it stands to reason that there's no tapes. Am I singing on key so far?
Oh, you're doing beautifully. You managed to segue from poker to grand opera, but please, continue.
You made up this guy Chapman and the tapes. Why? Because you got your own plant growing in Devereaux's pot, feeding you all of Devereaux's inside skinny while he's sniffing up the wrong flagpole.
What you're suggesting, McGraw, is that I placed an informant inside of Devereaux's organization, using the non-existent Chapman as a diversion.
That's what I said, didn't I?
Bravo.
Hey, hold the applause, Husey. There's been a lot of toes stepped on in this dance, and my feet got the biggest bunions.
Your point, McGraw?
My point is that I'm still looking down the throat of a couple of lawsuits and maybe losing my PI's license. Besides which, I don't like the idea of a scuzzball like Devereaux sticking it to the US of A.
Just, what did you have in mind?
Hey, there's only one thing you can do when the other guy's holding 5 aces and a gun. You kick over the table. Hughes, it's time for a new game, and I'm dealing.
McGraw, I think maybe now I'll take that glass of champagne. that the winner is still a rat. I think this great country, and particularly this wonderful city, deserve the best and the brightest minds that our system can develop.
Yes. Lena Moore, Cambridge Gazette. Mr. Devereaux, your business exploits are legendary, but your net worth has always been kept a mystery. Could you clear this up and tell us exactly how rich you are?
Well, if you earn a few $1 million here and a few million there, eventually it starts adding up to real money.
Walter Chapman, independent. Mr. Devereaux, I think a lot of people here would be interested in having a glimpse into the inner workings of your world.
That's not a question.
Well, let me rephrase that. A lot of people today think that the world market situation is pretty black. What do you think?
I'm too much of an optimist to have an opinion on that subject, Mr. Chapman.
Well, let's say you were putting together a shipment, say a shipment for overseas, and somehow we could all magically listen in. What will we hear?
Probably the sound of snoring as you all dozed off. But seriously, if I reveal my secrets, Mr. Chapman, I'd quickly lose my fortune.
Is there any truth in the old saying that behind every fortune there's a crime?
It is true. I am a criminal. And if I must be locked up, so be it. But I have no regrets about stealing the hearts and the minds of the good people of Boston. Thank you, everyone. It was lovely, but quite enough for one day. Thank you. Thank you.
Blake, look.
Blake, old buddy, Chapman here. You know, that wasn't very polite of you telling your boys to knock me off. But what the hell, I'm the forgive and forget type. In fact, I even got you a present. A going-away present. It's at home on your desk.
A photograph of you and that terrorist, Faisal. How did he get it?
Devereaux.
Hey, you and Faisal, you make a nice pair. Not your best side, but hey, who cares? The feds aren't running any beauty contest.
You're becoming a major annoyance, Mr. Chapman.
Listen, amigo, I know where and when your little shipment of plutonium is going out tonight. Either I deal with you or I deal with the feds. I prefer you because they don't pay so good. You got about 10 seconds to make up your mind.
Where, when, and how much?
Your warehouse by the harbor, 9 o'clock. Bring $500,000 in cash. Small bills, nothing over a 50. Looking for somebody?
You startled me.
Yeah, I guess I got that kind of face. Relax, Devereaux. It's only money.
Let's get on with it. Are those the tapes?
You know, the night of the ballet, you seemed like a real together guy. Sharp, on top of things. But I guess that's when you had other people doing your dirty work.
You can forego the character analysis, Chapman.
Yeah, even a blind man can see you're shaking in your alligators. You can't even hold that bag steady. Put it down. Slide it over. Yowza, yowza. This is my lucky day. Not only do I get immunity from prosecution, but I walk away with a cool $500,000 for my trouble.
Immunity? What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you, Blake, old pal. Right about now, the feds are moving in on your warehouse on Concord Pier, where I sent them. Just in time to bust up your plutonium racket. What's so funny?
Ironic is the word, Mr. Chapman. I think I've overestimated you. It's Gresham Pier, not Concord.
You got all that on tape, Eckstein? Stick a fork in this turkey. He's done. Who's laughing now, scuzzball?
I'm laughing, scuzzball. Get the tapes and the money, Mr. Eckstein.
Fox in the hen house, huh? So this guy's been working for you all along.
Oh, congratulations. I'm delighted it's finally become clear to you. I bid you adieu, and I leave you to Mr. Eckstein's tender mercies, such as they are.
Federal agents, freeze! You're under arrest. We have you covered.
Oh, gee, I guess we got company.
Eckstein, I'm so very disappointed in you. Call the raid team. Tell them the shipment's going out at the Gresham Pier.
Well, listen, I'll call the mayor and tell him to start working on a new list for Man of the Year. Honey, could you bring us another round and a couple more pizzas?
No.
Hey, I heard Devereaux really went nuts when he found out Hilga was a mole.
Feeding us information that he thought was coming from Chapman.
But what about Exxon?
I realized early on that we had a leak at our end, and I suspected next time, but I couldn't prove it. He also thought Chapman was for real, and in the end it worked for us. Thanks to Harry.
No hard feelings. Peaches.
Hey, I could have done without the needles, but at least you opened the door for me so I could get out of there. Not that I was in such hot shape to drive.
Oh, by the way, Mr. MacGinnis, we've cleaned up Mr. McGraw's slate, dropped all charges, and paid all the damages. There is, however, one slight problem. Tyler Chase.
Oh, leave it to me. I think I can work something out.
Well, that seems to take care of everything.
Not quite, pal. I jotted down a few small reimbursements I got coming.
Tuxedo rental. Carmen Miranda ashtray, $185?
It was an original.
Elliston Flores, $55.
Well, a dozen roses don't come cheap.
Well, that shouldn't be any problem. And what the hell is this?
What?
$650 on Mr. Spinelli?
Well, hey, if you guys can spend $900 for a hammer, the least you can do is take care of the guy who keeps my books.